we did to prepare for the interview. So we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of applying to FAMU and just general things, even if you're applying to other schools, to consider for your application process.
Okay, so for FAMU, they have a lot of pros applying to this pharmacy program. First, to start off, it's very cheap to apply to compared to other schools. You know, we're college students, we don't have a lot of money, I mean, for most students, so this is very beneficial to help save some money into your pockets versus other schools. And also another advantage, you don't have to take the PCAT. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that's a really challenging exam. And it's basically the test, like, you know, what did you retain in undergrad, how competent you are in the subjects that you will be seeing later on in pharmacy school. So, I mean, the test is hard, but you shouldn't let it define you. So that's another thing about FAMU. They let you express your knowledge without, you know, slamming this hard test on you, or if you don't get into a certain percentile, you know, that you're not competent. That doesn't mean that. It's just showing that, you know, maybe you express your thoughts and your creativities in a different way. So that was a big benefit for me, because I know the PCAT, even applying for that, is really stressful. The exam is really long. It's just really nerve-wracking, especially when you're already in the process of trying to get into pharmacy school. So I think that was an outstanding pro applying here. They really helped out the application process and made everything a lot smoother.
And the PCAT also costs money. I think it's like over $200.
Yes,
So,
each time you
yes,
take
it's
it.
$246.
And I don't know if you mentioned PharmCast, but normally if you're applying to pharmacy school, you have to basically have a profile on PharmCast. So that's where you upload all of your school documents and health forms, all that stuff, so that the schools that you're applying to can see it. And you have to pay money for the profile, and then you have to pay money for each school that you're trying to
Send the
submit the
application
application
to,
to.
yeah.
So we didn't have to go through PharmCast. FAMU has the application directly on their website, so that was a big pro too.
And convenient.
Very convenient.
I feel like another pro would be the location. If you're from northern areas and you don't really like the cold, Florida, because that's where FAMU is located at, in Tallahassee, that will also be a pros. You're kind of closer to the beaches, and you just see a different environment compared to the environment that you're in already.
So aside from the application process, we all participated in community service coming into FAMU. They're really big on you being involved in your community, but they want to see that the person coming to their university is well-rounded, and just, you know, a caring person who, you know, is ethical and things like that. So, you know, different things that we did, you know, showed character. So I know one thing that I did, you know, I was a pharmacy technician, and I also volunteered. Before I was a pharmacy technician, I volunteered as a pharmacy intern at a hospital in the pharmacy. So I did that, and I also studied abroad. So that was a big thing. The study abroad trip actually involved pharmaceuticals. So we went overseas to study medicine. So you want to make sure that the things that you're getting involved with, if they have something to do with pharmacy, that's even better too. But just make sure that, you know, you're involved in the community. Something I want to add to that.
Yeah, that's really important.
And also, along with community service, one thing that FAMU is big on, they want people who are serious about the program. So, you know, pharmacy is a very beneficial area as far as making money, but you need to research on what's going on in the world of pharmacy. That's very important, because they want to know, are you keeping updated with the pharmacy industry? So go ahead right now, because right now they're doing interviewing processes right now. So next year, the people who are watching now, you guys, next year you'll be applying. So at this moment, you need to be researching to see what's going on with pharmacy as far as medications, any epidemics, because that's really important, and pharmacy is always changing.
So yeah, I like that, Shawty. So do you guys want to go into the interviewing, probably our interview experience?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I'll start with mine. So when I had my interview, I don't know if this is for everyone, but as far as for my personal preference, I think that interviewing somewhere like midday is better. You don't get them too early in the morning where they just got there and they're like, you know, you know, people can be how he can be in the morning, and then you want to get them late afternoon. They've had lunch, they're fatigued, they're ready to go home, because then it's gonna be like, yeah, get out of here. So somewhere in the middle, so they can really hear you out, you know, actually listen to what you're saying and consider you as a person. And another thing I would say is to make sure that you prepare before you go on an interview. The worst thing to do is to underestimate an interview, because you don't know what type of things they can ask. You don't know who you're going to be sitting in from. You don't know what this person may know that you may not, just from looking at them. You don't know what a person knows. So it's important to prepare, and I say that because I find a lot of people will say, you know, they kind of finessed the interview or kind of added some things in there, and you can't lie in these type of things, because like I mentioned before, you don't know what people know, so they might ask you something looking for a particular response, and if you fabricate that, that might really, you know, have a detrimental effect on your application process. So just keep that into consideration.
Yeah, keep that into consideration, because from what Markayla said is that basically if you lie saying that you know a specific person, like let's say you know Barack Obama, that but I'm just saying, let's say that you say, hey, I did a study abroad trip with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and we discovered some type of drug in Ghana, Africa. Okay, these people in the interview, they're gonna be like, wow, and you know, they're gonna look this up, like look at it as like a job interview, because you know, it's okay, no, it's not okay to lie, but you know, it's okay to kind of do a little something. But if it's drastically like to where this person is like, oh my gosh, for real, where they have to go and look it up to prove that you actually did, don't waste your time trying to make up a lie for them, because like she said, you don't know who your interviewer knows.
Right. And lying, I mean, you're trying to be a pharmacist, so you have to have integrity, you have to be ethical, you have to have morals, because when you become that pharmacist, you're going to be surrounded by all these medications. No one is supervising you, because they have trust in you that you're going to do the right thing. So if you're starting off lying in the interview process, then that lie is going to go into you when you enter the program. You become a cheat, and FAMU does not have any tolerance for cheating.
Zero.
So you know, you want to start off with on the right foot, on the right track. So you know, consider your morals and your ethics. You have plenty of time to get involved. Do what you have to do to prepare for the interview. Practice now. And one thing, one of our classmates, Tisa Smith, she told me that her mother actually set up where other people that she didn't know drilled her in the interview. And that's one thing I wish I did, because I am not a good interviewer. I just do not like that type. I'm not a person who likes interviews. But if I would have had more practice and more exposure and having more people involved to interview me, then I would have been more prepared. But yeah, just do that and
just be yourself.
So definitely what Sade said, I definitely had somebody drilling me. I had, I think, 3 or 4 people drill me 3 or 4 times. So I wanted to make sure that, and it was just questions that I had looked up, you know, and I, you know, did a lot of research, and I wrote them down, and I had them ask me the question. So when I practiced it out, I actually sat up and I talked and I acted as if it was the real thing every time. So by me doing that, it kind of helped to calm my nerves in the actual interview, because I was able to be familiar with, you know, just the presence, and just practicing having a presence in the room and speaking clearly and making eye contact. And, you know, not fidgeting, small things like that, I was able to work on prior to the interview. So that was definitely helpful. And while we're on the topic, we can talk about the dress code.
oh yeah,
About
that's very
what
important.
we wore, because that is very important. So I know they definitely told me, you know, don't wear really, really loud colors. Just try to stay in the neutral range, like black, white, nude, you know, a little color, but you don't want to wear anything loud. So that was the main thing. Nothing too short, too tight.
Yeah. And makeup.
Piggyback
Yeah,
off of
very
what
light
Rachel
makeup.
said, it's very important. When you come to an interview, you want them to see you for who you are. You don't want them to have this dramatic effect going on. You want them to have, I suggest have your hair pulled back so they can see your face. You You know, wear small, dainty jewelry. Don't wear anything, like you're not going to a fashion show. You're here to present. You're here to do a job. This is you're applying to a professional job. So you wouldn't go into a job with loads of makeup on and dramatic hair and makeup. Keep it simple. You know, it's okay to dress it up a little bit, but keep it professional, keep it simple so they can really see who you are as a person.
That's very good.
Yeah, so, and basically, no dangly earrings. You want to try to wear like a stud or a pearl, necklaces and all that stuff. You know, just keep it very, very simple. You don't want what you're wearing to take away from them actually seeing who you are. So you don't want your outfit to be so loud so there's some folks in your outfit that they're not even paying attention to what you're saying, or they're, like Markayla said, already have like a prejudgment about you because of what you're wearing. So you definitely want to make sure it's very, very toned down.
Right.
Your heels shouldn't be that high.
Yeah.
Wear comfortable shoes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all want to talk about like proximity, getting here at a certain time?
Oh,
I think
yes.
that's very important.
Yeah, definitely.
I got here, my interview actually was during the afternoon. It was, I think, 1:30. I got here at 12:30, and they seen me as soon as possible. It wasn't that long. My interview was about 10 minutes. How?
But don't freak out just because it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it could be up to 30.
Yeah, because mine was about 20, 25 minutes.
So it just all depends on how the dialogue goes and you know what type of things you're talking about. Make sure that you come here like you're interested. Don't let them necessarily do all of the questions. Like there's a time and a place, so they'll pose their questions to you. But when they give you the opportunity to reflect back or ask them any questions, definitely take advantage of that because you want to show them like you're empathetic about being here. You take this seriously. You don't want to just sit there like, yeah, you know, just kind of here to do it. You know, no.
You have to show passion.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, for the out of state, make sure that you book your flight and you know any transportation that you're getting to the interview the day before. Don't do it the day of because you don't know what can happen. You may have a tire flat. You may have just a plane. You know, God forbid a plane crash.
Ooh, God forbid that.
But anything can happen. So just do it the day or 2 days before and just get comfortable and just be able to just go right into the interview instead of trying to hurry up and get off the plane and just trying to do too much to get to the interview.
How was your experience with? Because she's from Texas, so that's far from home. Did you fly or did you?
Okay, well, Tallahassee in general is very expensive. For some reason, the flights out here is like $500, $400. So, you know, some states may be very high depending on the location of the school that you're applying to. So, like, me and my mom, we did not want to pay $500 simply because we were unsure if I was going to get accepted into FAMU. So no one wants to spend that much money and then get a letter saying, oh, you got rejected. So what I did was I flew to Atlanta and then I just drove with my family down to Tallahassee, which was only 4 hours, but that was the day before. So that's a lot of time. And then, I just had enough time to kind of get myself together, my thoughts together, and kind of prepare for the interview. And then I left the same day after the interview, and that was it.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
So another thing I don't think we talked about was whatever school you're going to, just make sure you research the school prior to your interview. Know if they have different programs, because they want to know what you know, like, and how passionate you are. So if you go in there and you show them, oh yes, I've noticed that you guys have done research in this area, this is something that interests me, like that's really, really big. So you definitely want to make sure you do your research about the school. Just like if you're going to a job interview, you want to research the job prior to coming in. So that way when they do ask you, do you have any questions, you can say, oh, well, I've noticed that you've done this type of research. Can you tell me about that? Or any, just something like that, just to show that you've actually done some type of research about the school. That actually shows that you really want to be there as well.
Right.
And don't be afraid to call up to the school. Our staff here, they are very helpful. They are for us and for you. And they want to help you no matter what. They will disclose all type of information for you to guide you because they want the students. They want good, passionate, well-rounded students. So don't be afraid to call and ask questions or even visit. I mean, I know you may be busy, or you may not be able to be able to come out because you may live far, like she lived in Texas, so you can't just come pick up and just go to Tallahassee. But just ask around. Don't be afraid to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be.
And also during the interview, make sure like it may be nerve-wracking for you to answer every question just like this, but there may be a question that you may not quite understand. So it's okay to ask the interviewer like, hey, may you repeat that? Or what do you mean by, the statement that you have given? So just kind of slow down if you feel like you're hyperventilating and you just, just getting stuff out just because. Like, it's okay to slow down and take a breather and say, okay, can I just wait a minute and then just, keep going.
I would also like to reflect on something that I wish I didn't do in my interview, but just to give you guys some tips. If you come, like Samira mentioned, if you come across a question they ask that you feel intimidated by, don't take that personal, or don't, get timid and get scared and freeze up. Like she said, take time to digest that question and then formulate your thought. They can't rush you on how quick you can answer something. It's more importantly of what you say, because if you just rush and say something, you might be like, gosh, I shouldn't have said that, but that might really, mess up your interview. So, I didn't really make a mistake. I just got intimidated and I started doubting myself, but I was like, well, just pull it together, get through the interview, but don't be intimidated. Like, we're humans, they're humans that's interviewing us. Like, they can't do anything that powerful. Like, just take your time and you got it.
And just remember, I was so nervous prior to my interview. I didn't sleep well for like 2 weeks up to the interview.
Yes.
I was not sleeping. My heart was racing. I was so nervous, but like looking back, I wish I hadn't been, because someone told me, like, if they're calling you in for an interview, that means they have a seat there with your name on it.
Yeah.
So really, all you have to do is just show up and, be yourself.
Right.
And, you don't, everyone's gonna be nervous.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that,
You captured their interest if you got in it.
Right.
Yeah,
You got their
exactly.
attention.
Exactly. So it's no point for all the anxiety and worrying about how it's gonna go. If they want you there and they call you in for an interview, there's a seat there with your name on it. So
Right.
no need to stress about it.
And if you're a believer in the Heavenly Father,
Amen.
just know,
Walk by faith, not by sight.
right, just know that if it's for you, it's for you, and if it's not, it's okay. He may have a different plan, a different outline for you, okay?
Definitely.
So
I think that covers everything.
I think that does.
so if you guys have questions, then you need to comment below.
Like this video.
Below.
Share this video.
Share this video, subscribe, and comment. We're not gonna bite y'all, okay?
Yeah, we need to know what you guys
Yeah.
what you guys are thinking, concerned about, and we'll offer that.
Right.
The more questions that you guys come up with, that would kind of help us, because we do have a busy schedule and we don't really know the concerns for everyone. So if you guys would leave comments, that could kind of help us guide as to what type of topics to talk about on our upcoming videos. So
Right.
thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.